Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a market recap video. If you watched my last two market prep vlogs, I just wanted to talk about that market, what went on, how much I made, my best sellers, all the info, and just like market info if you're wanting to start doing markets to sell your crochet stuff. I feel like these videos are really helpful and they were helpful when I first started, so I wanted to pass along the info. I'm just gonna jump straight into it. I'm gonna put some videos of my setup because at the markets I forget that they play music the whole entire time, and so I was gonna record clips when I was there but I couldn't because there was a lot of copyright, so I'm just gonna put videos and clips and pictures and stuff of my setup of my table right now so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. I try to have a variety of items, like small and then big and medium, just like kind of different ranges and then just different styles of things too, because you just never know what's gonna sell, what people like, or anything like that. If you guys have questions on anything, like any of the stuff that's in those clips, just let me know. If you have any questions about anything I say, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I would love to help you guys out if you are wanting to do markets. So this market, also, if you guys see me looking to my left, I have my computer with my spreadsheet of like all the stuff I sold and all that kind of stuff. So if I'm looking over there, that's why. Or if I'm looking down, it's because I have notes because I filmed this video before and I just kept yapping. So the venue that I was at this past weekend was a venue I'd never been at before, and it's also a different market host that I had never worked with before. I'm always just super wary about new venues because I never know what foot traffic's going to be like, if it's going to be busy, what the customer base is like, all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, you never know until you go and try it out. The reason I was interested in this market was because at a few of my past markets, I was talking to other vendors and they were saying that they had done markets at this same venue and that they're normally pretty good, foot traffic's really good, and they're just generally pretty busy, so that's why I was interested in doing a market here. I'm in Southern California, so this market was at LBX, the Long Beach Exchange. It's a food hall basically, so you know, it's just like, if you don't know what a food hall is, it's basically just like a big building with a bunch of different food stalls from a bunch of different restaurants. And then not only that, but in that same kind of parking lot there's a lot of like stores. So I think what I had seen, there was like a Petco, an Ulta, I want to say like a Ross or a Marshalls or something like that. There was an In-N-Out, and there was like a couple other, even like a couple other food places, like not even in the food hall, but like along the side. So I think it just is a place that's really popular. And if you're new to doing markets, I always recommend doing markets at food halls just because I feel like there's already going to be foot traffic there because people are going to go eat dinner, go eat lunch, or stuff like that, so you know that there's gonna be people going in and out constantly. So the vendor fee for this market was a little bit higher than ones I've done. I think it's the highest one I've ever done, but I can see why, because this place does get pretty popular and it's honestly not too expensive compared to other markets that I've done. It's probably like only a $20 difference. So also, again, I'm based in Southern California, so I feel like it probably is a little bit higher. Based on what I see in Facebook groups and things like that, I feel like in California, the vendor fees are a little bit higher than what I see people post online when they live in other states. But this is just what it's like out here. I paid $145 to be at this market, which normally the markets I do are about 105, 110, 120, like that's kind of the range. So this is not too far off. It was only 145, so 20 bucks more than like my other markets. And I don't think that's too bad, especially when you know that it's a place that's really busy, that's going to bring in the traffic. When you're picking out venues for markets, definitely look to see what type of venue it is. I've done a lot of food halls. I've done the LBX just recently. I've done the Glendora Public Market. I've done the Anaheim Packing District. I've done like a coffee shop, and I've even done a winery. The winery, honestly, I personally wouldn't recommend. At least I just didn't do well at that one myself. The only reason why I did decent at that market was because it was my very first market ever and because all my friends and family came out to see me and they all supported. I think if they didn't come, I probably would not have made as much as I nearly did. So I would steer away from that, but you never know. I always say try it once. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. You can move on to something else. And then this market was from 12 to 5, which I feel like is pretty standard for market. It was on a Saturday. Saturdays I always feel like are better days to do markets because that's the days kind of families go out, people go out. Sundays I feel like are a little bit slower because people will go to church or they just are staying home, or it's a day that they clean. So I feel like Sundays are just in general tend to be slower markets than Saturday markets. Like I said, the market was from 12 to 5, which I feel like is a normal time to do markets. markets, but sometimes I wish the hosts of the markets would do them a little bit later, like maybe like 2 to 7 or 1 to 7 or something like that, just because I feel like at multiple markets I've been at, it's like 4:45, like they end at 5, it's like 15 minutes before the market ends, and I have like families or people come up and be like, oh, we're gonna go eat, like are you still gonna be here after? And I'm like, no, like I have to pack up in like 15 minutes, because a lot of the times they're pretty strict, like okay, once the time hits, like you guys gotta like pack up and go, because the venues are kind of like you're only supposed to be here from like 12 to 5, so you need to be packing up at 5. And luckily at this past market that did happen to me, but the family stayed and they purchased something, but they had a teenage boy with them, and I could tell he was like ready to go and eat. But sometimes I just wish that they were a little bit later, that way people coming in to eat dinner could go eat dinner and then still come out and we would still be there for them to shop. But sometimes it just doesn't work like that. But that's always a good time to, you know, give them your business card or let them know like, oh, I'm gonna be at this market again this time, this date, or whatever it may be. And so now I'm gonna get into everything that I sold, how much I sold, my most popular items, all that kind of stuff. And so now I'm gonna get into everything that I sold, how much I sold, my most popular items, all that kind of stuff. If you see me looking to my left, it's because I have my computer and my spreadsheet is open of everything that I sold, so I'm just referencing that. At this market, I sold a total of 44 items, and then my most popular item were my mini chickens. I'll try and insert pictures of what I can, because I kind of like didn't take pictures of everything before I sold them, so I'll try to insert clips or pictures of what I can when I can, or at least try to insert the pattern so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And then my most sold item was my mini chickens. This tends to be my #1 sold item at most of my markets. If I don't sell them out, I normally will only have like a few left. I sold 14. I did prep 20, which I feel like normally I don't make as many, so I do have a little bit extra than normal because I just made more this time. And I sell them for $6. I was selling them for $5, but I sold them for $6 and they still sold pretty well. This is a pattern that I just freehanded myself. There are a lot of like mini chicken patterns that you can pay or that are free or that are online if you want those. I can also make a video of me doing a tutorial of how I do mine. It's pretty simple. Honestly, they take me like 15-20 minutes, and they're great for market prep because I just knock a bunch of them out and then I have them and then I don't have to worry about them. So those are my #1 selling item. I sold 14 of those. And then the second best selling item was my little weenie dogs. I found this pattern through Crochet by Patty. No, Stitches by Patty. She makes YouTube videos too, and I saw her doing a market prep and she had these and I was like, oh my god, those are so cute, I have to make those. So I got the pattern. I don't remember who the pattern's by, but I'm pretty sure I got it on Etsy, or Michael bought it for me off of Etsy, so I'll link it in the down bar below so you guys can check it out. But I think these are so adorable, they're so cute, and they were so popular. It was the first item I sold. I was still setting at my table and a girl came by and she was like, oh my god, is that a weenie dog? And one thing about like weenie dog owners or just people that love weenie dogs is that they love them through and through. I had a customer and she had her daughter, and her daughter had a little weenie dog in a what is that called? She was pushing it in in like a stroller type thing, and she bought 2 of them. So I sold 5 of those and I think I made 7, so I only had 2 left over. So they were really, really popular. I would definitely recommend doing that. That's not one that I see a lot at markets. And there were 2 other crochet artists at my market. I passed by them briefly, but I honestly didn't really get a good look at their tables. But that I feel like is something I don't see often, so I definitely recommend doing those, and they're super, super popular. At my other markets, I feel like I sell a lot of like my little items, but I feel like this market I sold more bigger items and not like multiples of a lot. So the following items I sold 2 of, and that was my little froggy chicks, little dinos, otters, scrunchies, snakes, and stingrays. So my stingrays I feel like are always super popular. The past 2 markets I think I've at least sold like 4 or 5 of those each market, and this time I prepped like 10 and I only sold 2. And then snakes, I always feel like I sell those a lot. Those have been like a popular item for the past like 3 or 4 markets, and every market I try to have at least like 3 or 4 snakes. This one I only had 2, so I only sold 2. 2 otters, which those ones were kind of like a hit and miss. Sometimes they do really good, sometimes they don't. And then I sold these little dinos that I've had since like my first market. Those have been there forever. And then I sold 2 froggy chicks, which is another free pattern that I will link I don't know who it's by, but I'll try to link it in, or put their handle in the down bar on Instagram. That's everything I sold 2 of. And then I sold a bunch of like singular items. I'll just read them off really quickly to you. I sold a big turtle, I sold a blueberry, I sold a chicken nugget, a duck, a lily frog, a little macaron jelly cat type thing, 1 mushy pop, 1 octo, one chameleon that I've had since my very first market, so I'm so happy that finally sold, and then a raspberry cow, and then a sitting bee. 44 items, it's honestly not a lot. I feel like this market I sold more higher priced items than I normally do. I feel like in past markets I've sold a lot more of like smaller items. I used to have my mini chickens, my octos, my whales, my tiny turtles, all those for $5, and I had a lady one time and she got 20, so she spent like $100 on 20 different little items. I think she was a teacher, so she was just buying stuff for her class, so that was really cool. And those just tend to be like my really big popular items, but this time I was selling like bigger, more pricier items, which is interesting to see because every market's so different. Like I said, like some markets I sell a lot of stingrays, and my leggy froggies, I didn't sell any this market, and I feel like every single market I've done before, I've sold at least, if not all, like at least 2 or 3, and I didn't sell any this market. So it also could be the placement. I did change my setup a little bit. One thing I did do differently is I did not have my prices out, which was my mistake because I was changing my prices, and so I printed out new prices, but I left them in my car and Michael drove me to the market, so I did not have access to them, so I couldn't display them. And I feel like it's so important to display your prices like where customers can easily see it and they don't have to ask you, because when someone doesn't have a lot of money or they are kind of deciding what they want, it's so much easier for them just to see, okay, this is $10, this is $5, this is $15, this is what I can buy, this is what I can't buy, instead of like picking an item up, how much is this, how much is this, how much is this. Like some people don't want to do that, they think it's annoying. I don't think it's annoying, but I, as a customer, like I would not like to bother the person like that. So I feel like when I have my prices out, I could make more money, and I think that's kind of where I went wrong in this market. I think if I had my prices out, I would have sold more because there wouldn't have been as much, oh, how much is this, how much is this, how much is this. Like it could have just been like, this is $10, I have $10, I'm gonna buy it. That's kind of where I feel like I could have done better and made more. And then just because I know people want to know, my grand total that I made for this market was $434, which I think is decent. I feel like that's pretty good. I've sold at markets where I only made like 200 something, so I literally just made my booth fee and then like $100 or $150 on top of that. So anything that's like over $200-300 over my market fee or my booth fee is great. And I've said this before, this is just a hobby. I work a full-time job. I just crochet after work and on the weekends, and then I do the markets like once or twice a month. Just to get a little side money, but it's not like my full-time job or anything like that. So that extra is great, and then that'll help me pay for future markets as well. This market, I can't remember if I mentioned, it was at the LBX at the Long Beach Exchange, and I will be doing this market again in March. If you guys want to come out and see me, I will be there. I think it's March 8th. It's a Saturday through the 714 market, so I will be there with them again. I don't know exactly where, but if you follow my Instagram, I post all that kind of stuff, and I'm super excited for it because I am just excited. I love doing markets. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's just great to be able to make a little bit of extra money. If you guys have any questions about my setup, things that I use, tips, my patterns, things that I've used, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But I think that's all I have for you guys today. I will see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe, and I will love you forever, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!